Good day, everyone. In the news now is an article that once again should send your revs into the red. And the headline for this article in News 24 says cash-strapped ANC proposes amendments to the Political Party Funding Act. Now, the Concord made a ruling that said that the public should be able to know who is donating to political parties. I've done many videos on this, and especially the people that donated towards the DA and the ANC, etc., showing you who is pulling the purse strings, literally. Now, the ANC, because they're cash-strapped, they want to change this now. And I don't believe that the original bill that they came up with after the Concord ruling, that is good enough to begin with, because a person has to declare when they've donated 100,000 Rand. Now, you can do that a couple of times, and this is still problematic. So, if you look at the sub-headlines, the ANC is trying here to come up with something that is going to make sure that they can hide who their donors are. So, they want to up the amount by which you have to make disclosure and the amount that anyone is allowed to donate within one financial year. So the ANC has detailed plans to allow businesses and entities to donate more money to political parties. It has been proposed that the amount an individual or entity can donate to a political party be increased from 15 million annually to between 50 million and 100 million. The ANC also wants the disclosure threshold of 100,000 to be increased to 250,000 or 500,000 Rand per annum. In other words, if someone donates 500,000 Rand, they need to disclose it. They can donate 499,000 Rand and not disclose who they are. So the fact that people had to disclose who they are caused havoc, especially when it became clear that Oppenheimer were donating money towards the DA and many other entities. And the political parties don't like this, because now the public can see what a fraud our political system currently is. A cash-strapped ANC wants to scrap several provisions of the Political Party Funding Act, chief among them the requirement that a single person can only donate 15 million to a political party. While reiterating its principled support for the Political Party Funding Act, the ANC's National Working Committee wants to increase the amount a single individual or entity can donate to a political party from 15 million annually to between 50 and 100 million. Now, those of you that have followed my videos before, I made it clear that they actually created something to circumnavigate this. And where there's a fund where anyone can contribute towards a political parties is maybe a better expression, donate towards the political parties, and then they will equitably distribute those funds, in which case the ANC would get more, because to them equity means ek is groter as jy, I'm larger than you, so I get the largest cut, which is problematic. It's not democratic. Nothing about our political system is democratic at the moment, and this proves it. Alternatively, this limit should be completely scrapped, the party argues. In other words, there should be no limit. There shouldn't be a limit on when you disclose anything. Now, the big problem with this suggestion is the fact that I'm not even happy that you don't have to disclose when you donate 100,000 Rand. That is a large amount of money going towards a political party. The other important thing to understand is that hardly anyone wanted to contribute towards this together created solidarity fund for the political parties. There was one idiot that actually believed that it meant something and paid money towards it. Maybe some more people have done it since. But the ANC realizes that people don't believe in the system anymore. So now they have to grovel to the people that control them. And they are making it clear with the statements they make here. And the DA, I can tell you now, is not far behind. So, the NWC also recommended that the threshold for disclosures of donations, currently at 100,000, should be increased to 250 or 500,000 per annum. NWC members warned that the party needed to proceed with caution as NGOs were opposed to any threshold, and I agree with that. There should be no threshold. It said 100,000 was a compromise. Too higher threshold might provoke litigation. Officials were of the view that a 250,000 threshold would suffice. That's nonsense. It's 2.5 times more. This was contained in the NWC's report made to the party's National Executive Committee ahead of its meeting over the weekend. So, the parties are becoming cash-strapped. This whole system will implode because it cannot continue as is. You cannot run a nation on a system that was designed to divide people, destroy an economy, destroy the country, remove people's freedom, and then bow down to your purse-string puppet masters. I quote, "We can also consider proposing an amendment to the Act to provide for higher threshold limits in the year preceding an election." In other words, in other years, you keep it the way it is, but just before an election, you make it higher. That's utter nonsense as well. Definition of donations to explicitly exclude dividends and or investments and on behalf of a political party, the document says. Why should a political party have investments? That is like running a business. These people have no idea what democracy is about. The Act came into effect on the 1st of April, April Fool's Act, as we can see last year after President Cyril Ramaphosa, who's another April's Fool, signed it into law in January 2019 and promulgated it in February of 2021. Political parties are supposed to disclose to the IEC on a quarterly basis funds of more than 100,000 that they receive. Parties can receive 15 million from an individual or entity in a single year. Now, we know that some people donated way more than that to some parties, especially the DA, individuals, which is more than 90% of their total income, which means that person controls what's happening within the party. For the ANC, the Act has caused a reduction in the capacity of political parties to mobilize resources for their activities and for election campaigns. Yes, that was the entire intent. It shows you for the fraud that you are. It shows a system for the fraud that it is. And I quote, "Although no information is available about private donations to parties prior to the Act becoming operational, it is illuminating that the total donations recorded to political parties for 2021 quarter 1 were just 30 million, and for quarter 2, an election period, 6 parties recorded just under 57 million received in private donations. No foreign donations were declared during the first quarter of 2021, and during the second quarter of 2021, just 467,007 rand of foreign donations were declared for stated purpose in the Act, policy and training by the DA and Action SA, the document said. These people are suffering, okay? They are chopping off. The ANC is also unhappy that in the 2021-2022 budget, funding for political parties will increase by 1.8% between 2021 and 2024. They should get no increase. They shouldn't get any money from us, the taxpayer. I pay taxes every single month, a lot of money. And these people are getting it. People I don't support. It is criminal that this is the case. Where in any country do you take taxpayers' money to fund political parties? Utter madness. The Act also prohibits funding of political parties through provincial legislatures, thus further reducing public funding of political parties and in effect the system of multi-party democracy. Since the PPFA came into effect, only a single donation of 2,000 Rand was made into the multi-party democracy fund. This is what I mentioned earlier, one person. One fool. The regulations provide for the IEC to distribute monies from the fund to political parties only once donations to the fund have reached 1 million. To date, no monies have been distributed from this fund. So they were hoping that this was going to solve the problem. And Cyril put it in the Act, although it's utter nonsense. Parties should be able to stand on their own, fundraise on their own. If people believe in them, they don't believe in them. The fact that they are there is a complete and utter farce, and every time we go to the ballot box, we're voting for parties instead of directly electing our leaders. We need system change, and it's certainly going to happen. It's either going to be system change or complete and utter annihilation, one of the two. In November 2021, the Electoral Commission of South Africa revealed that the ANC had received a 15 million donation from the party's investment arm Chancellor House Holdings. Should the ANC be successful in its proposed amendments, the amounts would not have to be declared. People, if you look at the intent of the Concord ruling, they are trying to subvert this. If the DA doesn't shout and scream to oppose what the ANC is trying to do, it means it suits them as well. So watch this space. Listen to the opposition moaning and bitching about this. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because all of them are in bed together. Thank you very much. Please join this channel, become a member, and then you can go and watch the videos that I've made for channel members, the live chats. We had a great live chat last night. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure the members enjoyed it. We're just under 1,000 members at the moment. By month end, we should have gone past 1,000 members. And I really want to thank the members that have made this work possible in the country. This real work on the ground that is making a real difference in the country. We are using YouTube only as a platform to get information out there. The real work is happening on the ground. Without that work, we will fail. Thank you very much. Till the next video.